Hello everyone, my name is Cherie. In this video, I'll share with you what I watched in the month of November. In honor of Native American Heritage Month, I viewed 11 films featuring Native Americans. Let's start with the shorts. The 17-second Buffalo Dance and the 21-second Sioux Ghost Dance, both from 1894, are black and white silent films from Edison Studios. These are two of the earliest films made which feature Native Americans. Indian Land Grab from 1910 follows an American Indian protesting injustice and the white woman who joins his tribe and solves the problem. It's a white savior story, but still better paced and less melodramatic than most silent films I've seen. The Conquest of the Pole from 1912 follows the comic misadventures of an international group of explorers on an expedition to the North Pole, where they encounter a man-eating frost giant and a dangerous magnetic needle. This is my favorite Méliès movie yet. The film image looks really good, the sets are gorgeous, and it has his signature whimsy and special effects. It's still a slow-paced and overdramatically acted silent, but that's what silents were in their day. The next three are from Disney. Ferdinand the Bull from 1938 is the short that inspired the 2017 film Ferdinand. It's about a pacifist bull who refuses to fight. The Old Mill from 1937 depicts the animals populating an old abandoned windmill during a severe summer thunderstorm. It won the 1937 Academy Award for Best Short Cartoon. The Ballad of Nessie from 2011 is about a land developer who forces Nessie and her rubber duck to find a new home at Loch Ness. As someone who loves Scotland and the lore of the Loch Ness Monster, this story did not work for me at all. The Activists, also known as The Sacrifice Zone, is a 2014 drama set during the 1973 Wounded Knee insurrection. Two Native American activists are arrested and thrown in jail, where a young female lawyer is assigned to their case and they are visited by a Nixon representative and a senator. This comes across like a TV movie of the week or a play even. The shots are not very cinematic. Most of the action takes place in a jail, and some of the dialogue and acting aren't great. It took me over 30 minutes to get into the story, but by the end I was emotionally invested. Black Adam from 2022 is about an ancient superhuman who must stop the leader of a modern-day crime syndicate from obtaining an ancient, powerful relic. I love The Rock, but I did not love this movie. Horrible script, horrible yellow-tinged color grading, artless direction, too much music all the time, and a character who is supposed to be Almighty Isis, but never even dons the costume. In a ranking of Dwayne Johnson movies, this would definitely be at the bottom. Brother Bear from 2003 and Brother Bear 2 from 2006. When a young Inuit hunter needlessly kills a bear, he is magically changed into a bear himself as punishment. After hibernating, he encounters an old human friend who is bound to him by a childhood promise, and he must help her break it. These are both charming films. The sequel was a direct-to-video release, which I didn't know until after I watched it. It was just as good as a theatrical film. I'd recommend them both for a family movie night double feature. Edge of America is a 2003 Showtime production based on a true story. A black educator takes a job teaching high school English at the Three Nations Reservation and is coaxed into coaching the girls' basketball team. This is a fun, if slightly forgettable, film. All the actors are charismatic, and I'd say if you like sports films, give this one a go. Escape Room is a horror film from 2019. 6 strangers are given mysterious black boxes with tickets to an immersive escape room and the chance to win $10,000. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I only recently found out about escape rooms and would love to attempt one someday. Not like the ones in the movie, of course, where the stakes are real. Hey, did this movie inspire the opening of Rian Johnson's Glass Onion? Just asking. Anyway, I'd totally watch this one again. Fitzcarraldo is a West Germany and Peru co-production released in 1982. A failed railway tycoon must drag a boat over land in order to realize his dream of building an opera house in the Amazon jungle. This is the 4th collaboration between director Werner Herzog and actor Klaus Kinski. The documentary Burden of Dreams, filmed during the production of Fitzcarraldo, documents its many hardships. I thought the film was very good, but more poetic than what I usually enjoy watching. The Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is one of this year's surprises. A young Coriolanus Snow, whose family has fallen on hard times, sees a chance to change his fortunes when he is chosen to be a mentor for the 10th Hunger Games, only to have his elation dashed when he is assigned to mentor a tribute named Lucy Gray Baird from the impoverished District 12. This film was so fun. The cast is fantastic. Tom Blythe, Rachel Zegler, Peter Dinklage, Jason Schwartzman, and Viola Davis. It follows the prequel novel really well, and for me, the 2.5-hour runtime sped by. This might actually be my favorite Hunger Games film. The Imitation Game from 2014 stars Benedict Cumberbatch as mathematical genius Alan Turing, who is assigned to crack the German Enigma code during World War II. I saw this when it was released in theaters and remembered really enjoying it, so when it popped up on Netflix, I decided to watch it again. Yep, I still really love this movie. It's just fine filmmaking all the way around. Keira Knightley plays female codebreaker Joan Clark in a fun supporting role. The Imitation Game was nominated for 8 Oscars. It won for Best Adapted Screenplay. Journey to the Center of the Earth from 2008 stars Brendan Fraser, and Journey to the Mysterious Island from 2012 stars The Rock. And they both star Josh Hutcherson, who would go on to play Peeta in the original Hunger Games films. On a quest to find out what happened to his missing brother, a scientist, his nephew Sean, and their mountain guide discover a fantastic and dangerous lost world in the center of the Earth. A few years later, Sean receives a coded distress signal from his grandfather, and he partners with his mom's new husband to save his grandfather, who is stuck on a mythical island. Wow, I can't believe I missed these movies when they were released. I don't think I ever even heard of Mysterious Island. These were fun, and if another adventure book adaptation is released in the series, I'll definitely watch it in theaters. Jungle from 2017 stars Daniel Radcliffe as an Israeli adventurer who treks through the Amazon jungle with 2 friends and a guide with a mysterious past. This is a survival film based on a true story, and I enjoyed it. Daniel Radcliffe's film choices have been really interesting ever since he wrapped the Harry Potter series. From a dead body in Swiss Army Man, to the bad guy in The Lost City, to Weird Al in the Al Yankovic story. If you're a fan of Dan, definitely put Jungle on your watch list. Jungle Cruise from 2021 is based on the Disney ride of the same name. A riverboat skipper takes a scientist and her brother down the Amazon on a quest to find the Tree of Life while dodging submarine torpedoes and cursed conquistadors. I loved this when it came out, and I still love it after a second viewing. It's now part of my physical media collection. The Rock and Emily Blunt have great chemistry. Yeah, pure fun. The Killer was released on Netflix in November and is the latest from director David Fincher. After missing his target, an assassin battles his employers and himself on an international manhunt he insists isn't personal. Michael Fassbender does a fine job playing the titular character. There's a sequence between him and Tilda Swinton as another assassin that's excellent. I could watch that part over and over. Other than that, nothing really sticks out in my mind about the movie. It's based on a French graphic novel series, and while everything was executed very well, I can't see myself revisiting this one often. Killers of the Flower Moon, released in October, is director Martin Scorsese's latest. When oil is discovered in 1920s Oklahoma under Osage Nation land, the Osage people are murdered one by one until the FBI steps in to unravel the mystery. I loved this film. This is cinema. It might actually be my favorite Scorsese film. The performances are great. Leonardo DiCaprio, Lily Gladstone, Robert De Niro, Jesse Plemons, and even briefly Brendan Fraser. This will probably be nominated for many Oscars, and although Barbie is my favorite film released in 2023, I wouldn't be upset if Killers of the Flower Moon won Best Picture. The Lost City was released in 2022. It stars Sandra Bullock as a novelist kidnapped by an eccentric billionaire, played by Daniel Radcliffe, to help him locate the ancient city featured in her latest book. Channing Tatum plays her cover model, and Brad Pitt makes a brief appearance as a retired Navy SEAL. I saw this in theaters when it came out, but wasn't blown over by it. This year I found an abandoned DVD copy and decided to give it a second watch. And again, it's fine, but I wish it were better. Disney's The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh is an animated feature from 1977. It's a charming musical anthology film that joins together 3 previously released Winnie the Pooh animated featurettes: Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree from 1966, Winnie Pooh and the Blustery Day from 1968, and Winnie Pooh and Tigger 2 from 1974. This was a mystery DVD I ordered from my Disney Movie Insiders account. I'm glad I received it. It's really fun. The Marvels was released in November and is a sequel to 2019's Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel's powers become entangled with those of Captain Monica Rambeau and also Ms. Marvel. Okay, I'm going to disagree with most of the critics on this one. I had a really fun time watching this. It's much better than the original Captain Marvel film. The action scenes were fun. There was a fun training montage, and the cats/flurkins were hilarious. It's zany, but I think that's a good thing. The Marvels would make a great double feature with Thor Ragnarok. Priscilla was released in October and is the latest by director Sofia Coppola. Beginning when Priscilla first meets Elvis at age 14, the film follows their courtship and marriage, during which time Priscilla finds herself continually isolated and distressed by his infidelities and substance abuse. I liked this film, but it isn't one I'd revisit often. The acting and art direction are great. You can tell it's a Sofia Coppola film. The opening shot shows Priscilla's painted toenails as they walk through pink shag carpet. The same pink shag carpet I still have in my childhood bedroom. This is a 180 from Baz Luhrmann's flashy Elvis biopic. They pair for an interesting double feature. The Night at the Museum trilogy from 2006, 2009, and 2014. Ben Stiller stars as a museum guard who must keep things in order when the exhibits come to life at night. Each of the films pretty much follows the same formula, but move from Manhattan's Museum of Natural History to Washington, D.C.'s Smithsonian to London's British Museum. This is a really fun, entertaining franchise. Great for family movie nights. Race to Witch Mountain is a 2009 fifth installment of Disney's Witch Mountain franchise. A Las Vegas cabbie enlists the help of a UFO expert to protect 2 siblings with paranormal powers from the clutches of an organization that wants to use the kids for their nefarious plans. This is the 4th and final film I watched in November starring The Rock. It was okay, better than Black Adam. Not one I'll be adding to my Dwayne Johnson physical media collection, though. Real Injun is a 2009 Canadian documentary that examines the portrayal of North American Indigenous people throughout a century of cinema. Made by Cree filmmaker Neil Diamond, this movie explores the various stereotypes of natives in film, from the noble savage to the drunken Indian. I really enjoyed this documentary. I love the clips that were used and the points that were made. This reminded me of a documentary I watched 3 years ago called The Bronze Screen: 100 Years of Latino Image in Hollywood. Again, another great double feature. She, the silent film from 1925, and the colorized film from 1935. British explorers embark on a quest to discover the secret of immortality contained within a mystic fire, but must face off against a female ruler with a penchant for human sacrifice. Sorry I have no clips from the 1925 version. The YouTube download was pretty blurry. However, it is the most accurate adaptation of H. Rider Haggard's novel She, A History of Adventure, probably because the author also wrote the intertitles for the silent film. The 1935 version moves the action from Africa to the Arctic with giant Art Deco sets and repurposed gates from King Kong. This version of she inspired the look for the evil queen in Disney's Snow White. I'm still waiting for an awesome adaptation of this novel, as the 4 versions I've watched haven't contained all the exciting action-adventure sequences from the book. I actually adapted the novel into a script for NaNoWriMo this November, but it needs a lot of editing. The book is quite talky, and I brought all the dialogue in. I'll probably revisit it next Nano. Smoke Signals is a 1998 coming-of-age comedy in which 2 young Native American men go on a road trip to retrieve the ashes of one of the boys' fathers. It's based on the book The Lone Ranger and Tonto Fist Fight in Heaven and was directed by Cheyenne filmmaker Chris Eyre. The film is super charming. I love seeing modern American Indians, as opposed to those in the old cowboys and Indians westerns. The cast is great, and the movie deftly moves between drama and comedy. Thanks so much, Adrian, for recommending Smoke Signals to me. Treasure Island from 1950 and Treasure Planet from 2002 are both adaptations of Robert Louis Stevenson's novel Treasure Island. Enchanted by the idea of locating an island full of buried treasure, a cabin boy joins a sailing voyage populated by a crew of pirates. This was Disney's first all-live-action movie. The performance by Robert Newton as Long John Silver is so iconic that it is thought to be the origin of the stereotypical R-laced pirate patois. The animated version follows a cabin boy aboard a glittering spaceship on a journey to find the loot of 1,000 worlds. I enjoyed Morph, the parrot-like character, who had more screen time than the parrot in the original. Both these films were fun, but, dare I say it, just like with She, I don't think the best version of this wonderful novel has been filmed yet. With today's filmmaking technology, a great updated live-action adaptation could be made. Troll, a 2022 release. When an ancient troll is awakened in a Norwegian mountain, a ragtag group of heroes must come together to try and stop it from wreaking deadly havoc. Okay, I'm back on my Norwegian film kick here. This movie was entertaining enough, but it doesn't compare to Troll Hunter, which I talked about in my September wrap-up. Still, give it a go if you like creature features. Windtalkers from 2002 is based on true events. 2 U.S. Marines in World War II are assigned to protect Navajo Marines who use their native language as an unbreakable radio cipher. I thought I had seen this movie before, but as I was watching it, I couldn't remember any of the scenes. Turns out I had confused it with Thunderheart, a Val Kilmer movie. This one stars Nicolas Cage as well as Christian Slater and Mark Ruffalo. It was directed by John Woo, so by all accounts, this should have been great. However, only about 15 minutes of screen time was spent on the actual Navajo code stuff, which was the most interesting part for me. Everything else was battle scenes. They quickly became redundant and boring. I think the main problem was the script. Still, there's a great film to be made about the Windtalkers. Wreck-It Ralph came out in 2012. A video game villain wants to be a hero and sets out to fulfill his dream, but his quest brings havoc to the whole arcade where he lives. Cute! As someone who hasn't played any of the games spotlighted in the movie, I was still able to enjoy it. People who do play arcade games will probably love this movie. And that was it. In summary, I watched 7 shorts and 32 features in November of 2023. All of the shorts were new to me, 26 features were new to me, and 6 features were rewatches. I heart these ones the most. Thank you for joining me for my November wrap-up. Until next time, happy viewing.